All right, so women in Saudi Arabia divorced by their husbands will now be able to send a text message to inform them of their new status. The move is designed to stop the practice of men ending marriages without telling the wife. The Saudi courts have already started to send such notifications in a step aimed at protecting the rights of female clients and enhancing digital transformation with more service. The message will include the divorce certificate number and the name of the relevant court where the woman can pick up the documentation. Women can also inquire about their marital status through a website and view details of any probate certificates. Okay, still sounds particularly not romantic, but at least somebody's telling you, right?
Isn't this, Michelle, being done in the name of sensitivity here?
I'm still stuck on Mary Beth putting divorce and romantic in the same sentence. So if we can like circle back to that, because I've never heard divorce and romantic in the same sentence.
Well,
but
we'll have a drink sometime.
Okay, we'll talk and we'll exchange stories. Better than nothing. You know, it's just, it's one of those things where it's funny. We're so technology based and everything is done via text message and better than a Facebook status.
Well, and at least you know you can move on,
yeah,
I guess.
I hate that I'm saying that, but better than nothing. At least I get all
you now know.
At least I get all my documentation.
It doesn't sound like the woman still has a say in it, though, right, Kevin? I mean,
right. That's what this story. Anytime I see a story out of Saudi Arabia, especially about women, I want to go and check and see like what progress has been made. Right, there was big last year. Women got to drive.
Right?
So now they're getting texts. So I guess they're going to text and drive. Hopefully not. Don't text and drive. But like it's real serious. Like they still have very limited rights and what they're able to do, and they've got their male guardianship issues over there, where a man gets to make so many important decisions for them. Yeah. And I guess before now they got to make the decisions and not even tell them about it.
Right.
So this is, I guess,
better than nothing.
Yeah, better than nothing. It's a step in the right direction, but
I guess a woman still can't file for divorce there, I'm assuming.
Not sure. Austin, is this better than nothing, or how do you perceive it?
Well, this is something that within the kingdom, there are a lot of changes being made, as has been said so far, and that's good first steps for whatnot, but there is still a lot of problems over there, and Saudi Arabia has their own international human rights problems to think about as well. So there are some small steps going on here, but as Jamal Khashoggi wrote about before he was murdered, there's a lot that is going on behind the scenes that really needs to be considered for the future of Saudi Arabia. You may have drops in the bucket like this ability, so to speak, for women to get the text message, but there's still a long way to go.
Obviously so. All right, we'll move on here. Don't forget to tip your flight attendant. Frontier Airlines introduced tipping for in-flight service about 3 years ago, letting customers add gratuity on tablets used to order food and drinks. Attendants then pooled and split tips, but starting this month, the in-flight crew gets to keep their own tip. So, Kevin, we'll start with you on this one. Makes sense?
Well, yeah, thanks for serving up such a great question.
He has pride.
Hey, wait a minute.
Thank you very much. Y'all can split that.
Just $1?
Oh, thanks. That goes into the pool, the lifeline pool.
That's what she thinks you're
taxes
worth.
have really gone up this year.
Always tip your Live at 9 host. This is, it's difficult. Sometimes when we keep adding, should we tip this person or should we tip that person? I wish there was just one solid price and that the employer would pay the employee a fair wage so we don't have to worry about it, because it just makes everything seem like a used car lot. Like, what is the real price? How much are we really paying? This is for what service we're getting.
Yeah, my daughter is partially working her way through college, helping to pay off student loans by working in food service. She's working out at a restaurant in Collierville, and she's done time at several other restaurants around. And I'm very much in favor of stuff like that, because there are many people out there, including flight attendants, I'm assuming is the right term on this, that deserve some of the treatment on there. And if you feel that that's a way to do it, then that's something that I think that should be done, because a lot of people on there are surviving on almost nothing but tips.
Right, but it needs to be a tip, not expected. It needs to be, if you go out of your way, I'm going to thank you with a tip.
Right.
That's a former waitress.
Well, I mean, tips is, it stands for to ensure prompt service technically, but it's on the other side, it's the idea that if the service was good, yes, you want to say something like that on there, but if the service is not that great, then you have the right as a customer to be able to say no.
All right, Michelle.
I'm going to be the unpopular opinion on the couch. I just want to know about that life where you actually buy food on a plane, because I'm eating the free pretzels. So, but all jokes aside, for me, I think there are too many things going on that need to be addressed first. Flights are so expensive as it is, and by the time I'm buying my round trip fare and getting on there, I'm already, for lack of a better word, broke and putting out more money than I need to. So I think it's not the flight attendant's fault, but they're taken care of really well. I always joked that I would love to be a flight attendant because they get to travel for free wherever they want. So it's just one of those things where I'm always generous when it comes to tipping, but I've just never I don't get the whole tip your flight attendant thing. I really, truly don't.
All right, got one last topic here.
A woman's post on Reddit about her soon-to-be-born child's name garners more than 3,000 comments and then some. The 23-year-old woman writes that her 24-year-old husband wants to name their baby girl after his ex. And not just any ex, but the ex he dated for a long time and, quote, he told his wife this, loved the most. The post goes on to say that the husband even says the woman can pick whatever name she wants for their second child. He claims that just because it didn't work out with the ex-girlfriend doesn't mean he doesn't want something to remind him of her. Austin, what would your wife's reaction have been to?
Is that romantic or not, Austin?
First of all, if I were to pull something as not smart, shall I say, as doing something like that, my wife would have some reactions that I really can't say via FCC rules. So let's just leave it at the fact
or
that
if you were in Saudi Arabia, you might be getting a notification via text. About
or in fact several notifications at some point in time.
This would probably be okay in Saudi Arabia, I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, for naming the kids, I mean, there's always got to be some sort of a give and take. But just the idea to to have that point where it's like every time you have that X name coming up, that to me strikes as being a marriage that is not going to be around for too much longer, because if you're going to do that, then what's the other? It goes back and forth. That's what sometimes what marriage is all about. Sometimes.
Michelle?
As long as he's okay with my second child's name being the name of my new husband, we're going to be just fine. Just fine. He would not do well with me. He would not. I would end that marriage. That marriage would not last, to go off of Austin. But that would be the name of my new child, my new husband. So
I'm with you.
That's where I stand on that, and that's all I'm going to say.
That's all you're going to say. Kevin, the last word is yours.
What happened to the good old days when we named the kids after fruit and colors? Like apple and blue velvet.
Hey, don't look at me. I got named back in the 60s. So.
Yeah, but Barbara Hershey, wasn't she the first, like she named somebody Rainbow or something? That was in the 60s.
Well, that's partly why I got the name that I did, is named after my grandparents, or my grandfather, August. But my parents didn't want to have some
weird name.
Nickname like Moon Unit or Sunflower coming in, so that's why they chose that. Your unique name is cool. It's a really cool thing to have out there like that, but I think there needs to be some agreement.
Not in middle school.
Excuse me for interrupting.
Just keep the name simple, Kevin, like Mary Beth.
Yeah. You can name your child Mary Beth.
And that'll lead to another discussion.
Mary Beth and
Tell your
Alex.
wife you just want to be reminded.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.